Good evening and a warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. This is your host on the show, Heart with Preeti. A very warm welcome. I welcome each one of you. And this is Preeti Agrawal, your host on this show. And well, most of you must be knowing that I help women to become financially independent. Are you thinking how? By creating a joyful business that brings in joy to their lives. And if you want to know what is a joyful business and how can a stay-at-home mom become a financially independent woman, how can a homemaker become a homepreneur, then stay till the end as I'll let you know about it towards the end. Type in which city are you joining in from and how had been your Saturday today. Welcome on Heart with Preeti this Saturday evening. I am glad you could be doing anything else over a weekend evening, but you chose to be here. I am grateful for that. I am thankful for that. And a warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. Drop in which cities are you joining in from, and if you are following Heart with Preeti regularly or not. I would love to know that. Which cities and are you following? Good evening, Kidland, Noida. Very warm welcome, Priya. Very warm welcome, Kidland, Noida. Warm welcomes. Which cities are you joining in from? Would love to know that about you. I help women become financially independent to become homepreneurs from the comforts of their home. And are you a regular viewers on my show Heart with Preeti? If yes, do let me know by typing in yes. Also, I would love to know how had your day been today. What is one special thing that you did today? Would you love to share that? Drop in your comments. And let me introduce our special guest for today evening. You know, something special about the guest, he is Aman. He is a life coach, and what is special is that he helps people with life mastery. Are you curious how to master your life, and not just your personal aspect but your work life, your business, your profession? How can you master your life? Yes, we have Aman in room today evening, and he'll explain you all those skills. He'll share with you all those nuggets that are required to master your life. And if you are a woman who's looking forward to be a financially independent woman, that too from the comforts of your home, while you raise your kids, while you fulfill all your family responsibilities, then stay here till the end. I will be letting you know how you can do that. And yes, I was talking about our special guest today evening. You know, we have also co-authored the volume 2, volume 3 of I Can Coach book. We were also there at a 2-day intensive event, which was basically for the training and the coaching fraternity. And let me tell you one more interesting thing. As I just shared, he will help you master your life, not just on your personal aspects, but on your work life too. Stay towards the end and keep interacting, because that is what sends us energy across when we see your interactions into the comment section. And yes, if you have any questions, please park them towards the end into the comment. You can share in your questions and we'll be more than happy to answer your queries. And let me see if our guest is a life coach. He has been a business consultant, and he helps he helps all the coaches, he helps people to master their lives. Stay till the end, we have something interesting coming in. And let us raise our hands as we welcome our guest today evening, Aman in the room. Aman, if you can see me and hear me, and I've just accepted your request, let me know if you can see me and hear me. Yes, I am sending you that acceptance. Please check. Did you get it now? Aman, if you can see me. Oh, it says isn't able to join. Let me just recheck. Aman, please resend that now. Please resend the request. Hope it helps this time. I have tried sending again. I can see you not able to enter the live though. Yes, I read that message, Aman. I am accepting. I don't know why is it still not sending. Yeah, thank you for retrying once again. Thank you so much, Aman. Hey, warm welcome, Varsha. Good evening. Aman, I re-accepted it. Please see.
Hello. Hey,
Thank you so much. Yes, I
finally.
can hear you.
So happy to be here. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, super awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, yeah. Just had a power pack day and now here in front of the beautiful Preeti Agarwal and who is doing such great work with moms, teaching them about the biz. So yeah, just happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you so much for taking out time and coming on Heart to Heart with Preeti. Really looking forward to a power pack session when it comes to mastering our lives. Glad to have you as my guest today evening. So, Aman, a quick intro. I mean, I told a brief about you to the audience, but would love to know more about you.
Okay. So I've been a life coach for past 7 years and a business consultant for the past 4 years. I've been doing it for a minute, and with business consultancy, I'm about to hit my fifth year. So more power to that. That is number one. And now I am introducing this community model for my this thing, and in this I want to help all the people who are struggling in like I as they say, us coaches, they ask you what is your niche, and I was very so I've been mastering all areas of my life since so long, because the moment I entered this industry I wanted to make a change in the world, and I've been doing it for so long, so I thought it's so difficult for me to narrow down on one thing. And then I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What's my problem? They ask you, scratch your itch to find your niche. So I was like, what is my problem? And then I thought, okay, you know what? When I was in school, I wanted to learn these things, but I had to go to several different coaches to learn this, or someone were capable, someone were not so much, and it was like a whole lot of journey of trial and error. And I never had that one mentor who was doing everything. So let's
Correct.
just be that one mentor for the people who are coming now, and let's pick up all areas of life, and let's help people master them to the level at least from a 0 to 5. Like because when we are in school, we are taught about mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and we all know that. But what about
Correct.
the rest of the things? What about how to pay our taxes? How to be more financially literate? How to plan ahead, big things, legacy stuff? How to think about those levels? How to set proper goals? How to be more master of your time and stuff like that? I was like, why are we not taught this in school? And this bulb on moment came when I had a breakup in class 12th. A lot of my classmates were going on trips and everything, and I was reading Tony Robbins books. So I was like, okay, why was this stuff not taught to us in school? And like in school times, I was not fond of reading books. I was the guy जो एग्जाम से एक दिन पहले पढ़ता है और थोड़े बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स लाके हो जाता है. But once I started reading on this self development stuff, personal development stuff and so much and so much. I was reading books after books. My parents were like, what has happened to this man? स्कूल के टाइम पे बोलते रहते थे पढ़ ले और अब बुक छोड़ने के लिए रेडी नहीं है, ना कहीं जा रहा है ना कुछ कर रहा है. So yeah, the seed was planted at that time, and that's how I got into life mastery. And like I've been doing life coaching for the first 3 years. I was not even calling myself a life coach. I was just helping people out. I was the agony uncle of the friend group. सब लोग मेरे पास आते थे, यार relationship advice, यार ये वाली advice, यार वो वाली advice. And I was like just helping people out, and then I started doing it professionally. I was doing like I was an entrepreneur, so in entrepreneurship as well, it is one of those things like you teach moms to be entrepreneurs, to be their business owners and everything. So starting a business is like Elon Musk once said, starting a business is like eating glass. At least in the first year, you are just, it's so hard if you don't have coaches like Preeti or myself, that you don't have a roadmap. You don't know what you're doing, you don't have anything, and you just, it's a shot in the dark. Some people get through it, some people have the right time and the right luck and everything going for them. Some people have the right connections, but the other like a good amount of 90% of the people fail in their first year or the first 5 years. Business is a brutal game,
Absolutely.
and
And
if we are not, yeah, please.
you rightly said that if the roadmap is clear, it's the path, the journey itself becomes very simple. Because
Yes.
even interacting with women on a regular basis, they have that skill, they have that passion. But what I learned is they are clueless as to
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do. So once we help them understand that this is what you can do, the journey becomes so simple. It is like absolutely simple that clarity comes in. And once the clarity is there, taking steps, small active steps on a regular basis, it becomes very easy. And once you create a library of content for reading, I
Yeah.
am also from that school of thought that once you be friends with books, it opens a different world altogether. And as you rightly said, and agony uncle today we have as a life coach sitting with us. So that's absolutely marvelous, what books as your tools to constantly improve on the scale of personal development. Well brought in, Aman. That's very well brought in.
So yeah, as I was saying, to continue that train of thought, I was like, when I was doing from life coaching, when I transitioned into business consulting, I was helping businesses with their marketing and management, and business owners basically. And I realized that I am giving life coaching stuff to business owners only. Like, see, it's 80% mindset and 20% skill set. And skill set was very easy to tell them, okay, do this, do that, and they follow. When they pay big bucks, they follow. So that was the easy stuff. But the mindset stuff, just getting them to do the right thing and getting them to do it regularly over and over again, and just have them have that trust in me, because I was younger. In every room that I walk in, I was the youngest man. And I was like, I will tell you how to do this. And people were like, people were hesitant. We were like, yaar, ye hame kya batayega, kal ka aaya wala.
Correct,
So,
correct.
these were things. And I heard that. I legit heard that. And I was like, there was one incident where I was I was in a room with one of the top four companies in India. And one of a very big shot in the company was asking about my credentials, and he was doubting me. And I was like, okay, and I was not supposed to hear that, but I heard that. I was like, okay, let me have my meeting, and let me show them what I bring to the table. And that presentation, like that presentation was supposed to be 20 minutes, but it went on for 60 minutes. And it went on that long because their top management team was asking me questions after questions, and their questions were not done by the end of it. And I was happily answering everything. And these guys went like, "Yaar, what is this guy, man?" And like half of the top management team was literally eating out of my hands. And then they said, "Okay, like this is the guy, and we have to give him this thing, and we have to see how it goes with him." And
Correct.
so it was beautiful having that experience. And like a lot of young coaches come to me and they ask me, yeah, we are very young, this is happening, that is happening. I tell them this story, and then I ask them, what do you think I should have done just by hearing that man? Should I have just left the room, left the meeting, be like in my ego, oh no, I won't be doing business with these kind of people? No. you persevere, you go through the grind. And yes, my age, you be self-aware as well. Just being self-aware, this is part of my fundamentals course. This is the first thing I teach, being self-aware. Because I was the youngest man in the room. I was 23 at the time. Just remember, just think of it, you're running a 500 cr above company. Would you ask a 23 guy to, teach them about something or consult them on something? It is a
That's a big
thing.
one. Yeah, that's a big
Exactly.
accomplishment. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the point. You have to be self-aware and you have to be humble about it, because I am going there to serve. And if I am not able to serve them, then they have all the right not to pay me the money. But if I am able to give them what they are asking for and then some, then they will pay me the money with happiness. They'll be like, yes, we have paid him 50 rupees, but we are getting worth of 500, 600, 700 rupees.
Absolutely. You know, after hearing this experience, this story of yours, that reminds me of my own personal experience.
Please.
A very similar kind of scenario happened even at my corporate workplace. Uh, After being few months into the work, I mean, into that profile, even my manager, I mean, he said me that Preeti, then you should not have accepted the role. I mean, there was an appraisal season and all. I just told that seeing my performance for the past few months, I mean, for one financial year almost, this is the raise I'm expecting, and this is what I'm looking forward to. So then there were conversations and all happening, and then he was like, "No, Preeti, I think if that is the requirement, this is what you're looking forward. In first place, you should not have said that, because he had known my caliber after seeing my work for a year. For a year, the statement that he said me that at the first place you should have, never accepted this proposal. If that is the benchmark of salary that you were looking forward to. So I was like, no, this, I was not meant to hear this, that I should have said a no at the beginning. If I'm asking for an appraisal, this should not be an answer. That तुमको
Yeah.
proposal accept ही नहीं करना चाहिए था. You should have checked on a different organization. And I kept on working, I kept on delivering what my role was. It was the same manager after a few months who said me, Preeti, I'm looking forward to hire you for whatever next organization I be in. So you
Amazing.
rightly said, let your work speak for you. Because that day when he said me ना कि प्रीति तुमको अगर इतना पैकेज रिक्वायर्ड था और यू वर लुकिंग तुमको इस जॉब को हाई नहीं मैंने को यार इतना काम करने के बाद दिस इज व्हाट आई गेट टू हियर I kept on working that no, let my work only speak for me. And then he comes up and says me, I'm looking forward to an opportunity when I can hire you in the next organization. मैं कहा मेरा काम हो गया मेरे को पैकेज में ही this is what you earn. I mean package is all is set as a byproduct. It absolutely is a byproduct. This is the real earning which you have. Glad to hear your experience with work and my experience also. Very
Amazing.
nice. So I came across something as a 90-day hard challenge. What is that? I'm curious. I was going across it for 5 years ago. Something is there that I need to ask him. What
Yeah.
is that 90-day hard challenge?
So 90-day hard challenge was a challenge that I started on 1st of January. This is one of my, so I went through something last year in November. It was a bit of a traumatic incident and I gave myself time to heal from it. And then this was one of my first things as a promise to myself. And this promise was, there is a challenge called 75 hard. Okay. And I made it to be a 90 hard. I said, people do it for 75 days. I'll do it for 90 days because I'm an idiot. But then it was supposed to be.
Give me a virtual hug for that.
Yeah. So what I was supposed to do was I was supposed to do two workouts, one indoor, one outdoor, and 10 pages of a non-fictional book, like a self-development book and stuff like that, every day. Then I have to eat a healthy diet, okay, whatever diet of my choice, but it should be healthy. That is number three. And fourth, no substances, no abuses, no alcohol, nothing like that whatsoever. And number six was 4 liters of water every day. Okay, and if you miss any of these, and one picture every day for your progress, just to record your progress. And if you miss any of this stuff, like even one thing you miss, you have to do it all over again. Your clock starts on day one. So I did this for 90 days, and I started it on 1st of January and I finished it on 31st of March. And on 1st of April, our book launched together. And in
Correct.
that book was the story of my trauma and how I came out of it. And on 5th of April, I made another promise with my hackathon team that I will make all of them become freedom finishers in this hackathon. And on 5th of April, they got the graduation, and everyone in the graduation, my whole team said, Aman Vidya, Aman Vidya. Vidya was my beautiful co leader, and everyone said my name. And this was my week of heaven, if you will,
So
where in one week I crossed so many milestones, and it was amazing. So, yeah.
but this is inspiring, Aman. 90 days details that you've just given all six parameters,
Yeah.
religiously, dedicatedly doing it for 90 days. Hats off for that
Thank you.
determination. Absolutely hats off. Hats off.
Yeah.
That's nice. So, tell us something regarding life mastery, Aman, when it comes to the life mastery that you do. I'm curious to even understand how it has, let's say, a viewer who's watching, who's not into any training or the coaching fraternity, but a casual viewer, and how can it even help trainers and coaches like us. So, what is
Can
all
you
this
can
to
you
cover
repeat that
into my
last line again? There was some disturbance from your side. Just the last
I'm
line.
saying the life mastery that you help, what is the basic core I would ask about the life mastery? The curriculum or the course that you've designed with regards to life mastery, what all aspects you cover into?
Okay. So the aspects that I cover in life mastery, first of all, it begins with self-awareness, as I already told you. Self-awareness is the first thing, and this is something that I kept it on level 6 first. Pehle I kept it as a sixth thing. But when I went through my own personal trauma, I realized I went through my own course. I was just checking, and I said, okay, this is interesting. Let me just be a student of my own course. And I became a student of my own course, and I thought, okay, self awareness is something that should come on number one. And that's why I made the change. And let me tell you, as a student, I fell in love with myself. I might sound narcissistic to say that, but it was amazing. And it really changed my own life. So, self awareness is number one. Then we work on goal setting and passion, vision, and all that good stuff. Everything that we learn in personal development, it's all part of that. Then we get into emotional intelligence. Then we get into resilience. Then we get into communication and communication in relationships. And then we get into financial literacy. And after that, we get into legacy. Legacy is because this itself, this fundamentals of life mastery, my course, this is my legacy project. This is my way of giving back to the world, because this has so much that I have learned over the years from people like Tony Robbins, from my mentor, our common mentor, and all these people that I have learned from in all of these years. And I've combined that into one program, into a community model. Because hota kya hai, we go into webinars or we go into these big programs, 3-day program, 5-day program. We are very emotional, high energy, everything is sorted. But what happens after 1 week of that? Or what
It
happens
fades
after a month
off.
of that?
It fades off.
It fades off. And that is
Correct.
why I wanted to create a community where it doesn't fade off. And we are checking in on each other every week. We are building this every week. We are hammering these principles every week. And when we do that, we are in that energy. We're still in that energy, still in that vibe, and we create magic happen. So, yeah.
That's fantastic, Aman. All the six levels, I'm sure your community would be exponentially growing once they get across all these six levels.
Yeah.
Very nice, Aman. So, when we were having a conversation, I recollect you mentioned about self healing.
About?
Self healing.
Yes.
Self healing. Would
Yeah, yeah.
love to know more on that. Yes.
So as I said, this personal trauma on November 4th, which happened. Other than that, also, there is something about personal development I have seen, and even before I mentioned, like, when I got off a relationship, that's when I started reading Tony Robbins, and when this thing happened, I took this 90 hard challenge. So I have noticed this. We have these waking up moments in our lives. When something bad happens, or when something we go through a bad breakup, or when someone close to us dies, or we have a near death experience or something like that, something extreme happens, na, it wakes us up. Something inside us is woken up. And when that happens, na, then we start looking inside. Then we said, okay, what did I do wrong, or how can I be a better person from this? And then we get into personal development and stuff like that. So self healing is something. There was a little speech that I gave in one of our common friends is this thing, and that's where she asked me to do it on this particular subject because she read my story in the book, and she said, how did you heal yourself, and how my community of coaches can have some help in this regard. So that's why I
Correct.
gave this speech, this which was supposed to be 40 minutes, but it ended up being a 4 hour
Four.
speech. Yeah.
It is the same.
So,
Oh, all right, all
yeah.
right. So what happened? I mean, what all did you cover? I mean, 40 minutes to 4 hours. It's a huge difference. I'm sure some golden nuggets were there for
Yeah.
which the audience stayed. So share those with our audience today as well.
Hmm. So, to begin with, like it was supposed to be a 40-minute thing, and I was not, it was like a no sale thing. I did not have a product. I just wanted to go and share. And that's what I did. And I think for the first 30 minutes, I was just sharing my story. And this was the first time I was telling my story in front of so many people. And it was a very therapeutic experience for me as well. And that happened. And then I said, okay, you are young coaches. Let me give you some quiet skills that coaches need. A lot of us talk about those soft skills, those hard skills, selling. You have a mindset, you have this, that. But what about the quiet skills that no one talks about? That I have seen. I've cultivated them through my experience of 7 years and everything. And I was like, okay, let me talk about those skills. I'll give you an example of a couple of them. Tell me if that is correct or not in your experience. Okay, like I think number one is active listening. As a coach, we have to be very active listeners, and there's a difference between a good listener and an active listener. A good listener
Very
is
true.
just staying there and
Listening
listening to what you're saying, and an active listener is listening to what you're saying and also
and
making sure.
unsaid also.
Yeah, and unsaid stuff as well. And also, like, in that webinar itself, I was remembering everyone's name. I was calling, okay, this lady said this. So bringing back to that original conversation, taking something from someone said and bringing back to the other conversation. So that is also part of active listening and active communicating to that. So that was one of the things. Communication was one of the things. And there's this one thing which we all know, like internally or intellectually we know, but we don't talk about it, and that is having that presence. Like just us having this conversation right now, if someone is watching it and if they are just mesmerized the way I am saying things, or they are just hooked by the way you conduct these interviews, so they would be loving your presence. And this is something that we don't work upon. This is something we just develop. It just comes, it just happens naturally. If we try to
Correct.
work too
And
much on it, it's
it
unoriginal. Yeah.
it it just it happens itself because maybe we are working on it on a regular basis. There's this thing हिंदी में वो बोलते हैं ना नाइफ को जितना you
Sharp
घिसो
करो.
it happens उतना ज़्यादा. So
Yeah.
maybe you and me are religiously doing our stuff day in day out. We are bound to shine like diamonds.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing you said, because we are doing our stuff day in and day out. So we are about it. We don't just talk about it, we are about it. We are living and breathing that thing. And when you do
Correct.
that, na, so that is undeniable. The presence that you will feel when a person walks in the room, that is undeniable. If a person who is doing a lot of gymming and like he's a bodybuilder, whenever that person walks in the room, you see that muscles. That is undeniable. You cannot say this man is not going to the gym or he is very unhealthy. No, you can see that. And just like that, for us coaches, that presence factor, like when we enter the room, when we are talking to people, they sense, okay, this person is different. There is something about them. We can't really put our finger to it, but there's something about it. So these are some quiet skills I talked about in that. And yeah, that's why it went to for 4 hours. And after every hour, I was asking these coaches, guys, should we stop? No, no, sir, please, we are taking good notes. Just please keep going, keep going.
Continue.
I just couldn't stop,
Yeah.
and I was enjoying it myself. And by the end of it, Gargi said, sir, you just came in and you made it your own community. You shared like anything, and I felt so happy. So I was like, yeah,
Right.
thank you. Yeah.
And you rightly said, Aman, it the presence which even unsaid things. And I think this is what is related even to the aura. I
Hmm.
mean, aura nobody can see, but it is somebody who can experience it. And in
True.
the kind of digital world, aura passes across digitally also. वो होता है ना
Yes.
वाइब मैच होना and all that stuff. So it passes digitally
Absolutely.
as well. And it is, sharpening your stuff every day, day in, day out, working towards it. And this is to everybody watching it, whether you are from the same fraternity or not, it applies to your life aspect as well.
True.
If you are a student going to some college, you would be having a work-related project. It could be a woman who's working at home. Even to convince your husband that aura would work. And
Yes.
definitely for coaches and trainers, the aura, the unsaid presence is definitely going to work. It does create wonders.
Hmm.
So, how can somebody put that into practice?
How can somebody
The,
put that
the,
into practice?
the
Building an
talent
aura.
stuff which no, the talent stuff, overall the talent stuff that you mentioned,
Hmm.
let's say if somebody wants to work on it from day one, which is today.
Hmm.
So how can they take those initial steps?
Hmm. They can join my course.
That's the simple one, yes.
No, okay.
Correct,
So
correct.
this is, see, I'll tell you one thing that I talk in my community as well, and I think this will give you some perspective on how can one start right now. Okay, so this is something when I say life mastery, okay, it's a very broad subject, and people are like, okay, what is life mastery? Okay, it's very broad and it contains everything. So I work on, first of all, you work on self mastery, mastering yourself, and then you work on mastering the life around you. Okay, and how do you master life is there is a level of practice that goes behind it. Okay, जैसे day in and day out what we are living, if we are practicing, if you know, say for example I give a buffet, जैसे मैंने आपको इतनी सारी चीजें सिखाई ना कि मैं इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस पे भी वर्क कर रहा हूँ, रिलेशनशिप पे भी वर्क कर रहा हूँ, मैं बुफे लगा देता हूँ लोगों के सामने, ये रहा, अब आपको जो फेवरेट है ना आपका, आपको दाल मखनी पसंद है आप दाल मखनी खाओ, यू लाइक फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, कम एंड लर्न फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी एंड गो प्रैक्टिस इट, go teach it to someone, go practice it, and the more you practice it ना, the more you hammer it in, the more you are teaching someone, उसके बाद क्या होगा, आपको ना उसके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा कि अच्छा आई कैन डू इट, एंड कॉन्फिडेंस भी जब करते रहोगे ना, उसके बाद प्रैक्टिस करते रहोगे, फिर और नॉलेज आएगी कि अच्छा मे बी यू नो आई वाज डूइंग दिस वे बट दिस कैन ऑल्सो बी डन इन दिस वे एज वेल, फिर नॉलेज के बाद भी आप करते जाओगे ना, करते जाओगे करते जाओगे करते जाओगे, फिर एक लेवल के बाद आपको आएगी मास्टरी, एंड देन यू विल बी लाइक यस नाउ आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट दैट आई नॉट ओनली कैन टीच दिस टू अदर पीपल बट आई एम अ बिट ऑफ अ मास्टर इन इट, आई एम अ बिट ऑफ एन एक्सपर्ट इन इट.
Correct.
So this is like a bolne mein this is very simple, but when it comes to doing it, it's not that easy. There's a difference between simple and easy. So a lot of the things I have like इतने सारे complicated ideas को बैठ के मैंने simplify किया ना, and वो simplify करना in itself is the level of intelligence that goes behind it. You cannot, because it's very easy to sound intelligent. I can make up a lot of words and talk in a way that you will be like अरे बंदा क्या बात कर रहा है, but that is not the show of intelligence, that is just me trying to show off. But if I
Correct.
make the most complex ideas the most simplest for anyone to understand and digest, that is the level of my intelligence, that is the mark of my mastery into a subject.
And it is rightly said that, simplicity is the new trend.
Yeah.
So the more we simplify stuff for our viewers, for our communities, our programs, our coaching, our courses, it becomes easy for them to implement. And
True.
because see, anything we can Google and learn, Aman. Where people lag is implementation is what they lack. And if as coaches we simplify our courses, our programs, it becomes so easy for them to implement that they can expect results coming in.
True.
So yes, simplification is definitely the right word you brought in the conversation. It's definitely there.
Thank you.
Moving on to another thing that we had while we were speaking, and
Yeah.
I was like, no, let me speak that towards the live only so that my viewers can also have an idea about it.
Hmm.
What is that big launch which is happening on the 20th? I was very curious, but I was like, no, let him bring into the conversation on the live talk show only.
Yeah.
What is that?
So as I said, in this whole interview, from start to finish, like, so I've been doing it, and I've been like, because I've been doing it for a while, I am able to charge a handsome fee for my one-on-one consulting. And right now, I'm changing my model into a community model, like you are doing with moms. So, I'm also building a community of people, of coaches, of leaders, of people who want more in life, who do not want a mediocre life, or who are just hungry to learn. People in the self-help community and all that. So for them, I am launching this community, and I did a soft launch on 10th of May this month, and this was Akshay Tritiya when I did a soft launch, and it went very well. And today I'll be posting something about it as well. Like the first, there was a young lady who came into it, and she just fell in love with it. So I'll be posting about it today as well. And that soft launch was on Akshay Tritiya because it was an auspicious day. And from there till 20th May, which is my mom's birthday, that is when I'm doing
Oh,
the absolute
lovely.
launch. Yeah. So that is when I'm
Oh,
launching my community for everyone. It is open because the soft launch was for a closed door community for the people who are already joined in on my WhatsApp. But this
correct.
full-fledged launch will be for anyone and everyone, and then I'll be running ads and meeting other people. And even before the launch, I've made a few sales already. So I think this speaks for itself. And people connected more with me rather than the product, and they said, "Sir, we want to just stay in connected with you." And a lot of
Got
coaches
that.
as well. Yeah. Anyway, please go ahead.
So,
So that
viewers,
is about.
are you excited? Stay in touch with Aman. There's something big getting revealed on the 20th of May. That's Auntie's birthday. I
Yeah.
am sure something exciting is coming your way. Follow him and get to see what is that exclusive stuff which is coming out on the 20th. It's a big launch. Stay forward to what he is revealing to the whole world.
Yeah.
So, Aman, moving towards the closure of the conversation, would love to have few nuggets from you with regards
Okay.
to life mastery, or let's say even the quiet skills that you said. Any top three or four favorite nuggets of yours which you would like to extend to our viewers?
Nuggets, I think firstly, just say, like, just go and watch this whole conversation that we just had. That would be my first nugget. And from that, pick up your own nuggets. Because as I said, self-awareness is something which is beautiful. And we talk about it, but there are a lot of people who are not doing anything about it. Even, there are some people who know कि अच्छा मेरे अंदर ये वाली चीज कम है, लेकिन they just accept it and they're like नहीं मैं तो हूँ ही ऐसा या मैं तो हूँ ही ऐसी. And they say this and they sign off. Ki, nahi, I am a person like this and that's it. I will not improve. I will not do anything about it. I'm just like this. If you want to accept me like this. And I think this is a little irresponsible. Like,
Correct.
I think if you are like if a murderer tomorrow goes and says, "Oh, I am a murderer only. I will just kill people and accept me for who I am." So that is not done, na. If you
Right.
have a problem, if there is a bad thing, or if there is something which is not the best in you, maybe work towards it a little bit. Doesn't hurt anyone. And if you are making that progress, even if it is small, people around you will love you for that and appreciate you for that. So that is
Correct.
something I think it's open for everyone, and for people who are interested in life mastery and stuff like that. I think the one big thing I will tell you is think the big picture. Okay, because we get stuck in the small picture too much, and we are always, like, okay, sometimes it is important to take it one step at a time, but other than that, having that clarity of vision, having that clarity of legacy, having that clarity of what do you want to leave the world with when you leave this plane, that is something that I wanna that's a question I wanna leave in your minds. Ask yourself this, because everyone can tell you, your parents can tell you, oh, do this course or do this stream, go into this field, do that, or your colleagues can tell you, no, 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 this is good for you, that is bad for you, or your life partner can tell you, oh, you are beautiful like this but not like that. A lot of people will tell you a lot of things, but end of the day,
Correct.
you are living in this body, and you are here on this planet for a very limited time. What are you leaving
Make the
for this
most of
world?
it. Absolutely. Make the most of it. So
There is a
what is
question.
it in the
Yeah.
comment? Yeah, let's answer that, Aman.
Such persons do bad things to other people and still people say ये तो ऐसा ही है, and trust me ऐसे लोगों से डील करते हुए बहुत गुस्सा आता है but you can't do anything and they really suck. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you can take a personal responsibility and you can take charge of your life, which I do, so if you can do that, at least you are not that shitty person and at least you are not sucking. We can't do anything about the other
Absolutely.
person, but if you just take responsibility of yourself, वो कहते हैं ना कि हम दुनिया को सुधारने चले हैं but सबसे पहले खुद को तो सुधार लो.
खुद को तो सुधार लो, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
Exactly. The reason we talked about 90 hard, the reason I talk about these things is because I am working on myself on a daily basis. And that is what reflects with people who talk to me. That is what reflects in my aura. That is what reflects when I enter a room. Because I am about it. Are you about it? That is the big question. And I want you to be
And
about it. I want more people to be about it. Yeah, please.
there's always a scope of evolving, of growing in any aspect of a life. And I am a firm believer in that. Because, if somebody says, oh, I have arrived, I have achieved this, I have achieved that, there's no scope for improvisation, there's no scope for learning, that's a complete bullshit. Because till the time you're living your last breath, there is always a scope of learning and improvisation.
True.
So to answer the query which we had in the comments, if you work on yourself, you can deal with any kind of bullshit that is happening around you. That inner strength would come in is what I think to deal any kind of a situation. Any further queries you have, viewers, we would love to get them answered. Any
Yeah.
questions, please feel free to put
Sahib
them
has
in the comment
joined.
box.
Jacobs, hi guys. And one thing, Preeti, like before we close this, if no one has any other queries, can I ask you to entertain me on one thing? You know, there's this one thing that I do in my life, and I would love you to do it as well. Like this
Yeah,
is how we
please,
close our lives. Okay, this is
please,
something,
please
but
tell
you
me.
have to get your whole body involved in this one. You know, sit back a little, do this. You know, do it with me. Come on, do it with me. Do
Yeah,
this. Then we do lock and load,
yeah.
and then what we do is I'm just showing you first. Okay, we do a punch to the camera but don't hit your phone, and you go all power and you say take charge.
Take charge.
Yeah, take charge.
You know
Okay.
what is it reminding me of? It's reminding me of Rebound Miracles.
But I've been
At
doing
our
it
event.
before that. Okay,
No,
but
no,
man,
no.
we
Just,
got a question. Yeah,
yeah.
but मन तो करता है ना ऐसे लोगों को खींच के एक हाथ को लगा दे भाई गो फॉर इट
फिर मन भी
एनीवे
पूरा हो जाएगा।
एक्चुअली डोंट लाफा मत
वो
मारना
ध्यान
उनको
रखना
ऐसे कर देना
वापस नहीं नहीं
टेक
नहीं
चार्ज
वापस ध्यान रखना वो वापस लौट के ना आ जाए बस अपनी सेफ्टी तब तक है मेंटेन इट इज गुड
Yeah. Akash,
या
come into my community. I do mixed martial arts as well. You know, if you are about it, and they will not be sucky in front of you. If you they know na you mean business. Like if you know someone, like I'll give you an example of Priyanka Chopra. Everyone knows her, right? Preeti, do you know Priyanka Chopra? So
आई डू
she has built herself in a way when she enters the room there is some power and an aura with her, or like Shah Rukh Khan, you know, when he's a charming man, the moment he enters the room there's all charm around him. अब शाहरुख खान के सामने जाके कोई ऐसी बदतमीजी या कोई टेढ़ी मेढ़ी चीज थोड़ी करेगा कि उसको शाहरुख खान को उसको चाटा मारने का मन कर रहा है, तो तुम
यू
वैसे
हैव टू
बन
रेज
जाओ.
योर ओन लेवल
Exactly. You raise your level, you raise your vibrations, you raise your aura to an extent where people don't even do such thing with you, and you don't even have to deal with it
they
because you are.
dare to think before doing any nonsense around you
Yeah. Okay. All right. चलो प्रीति एक बार करते हैं, ठीक है? I hope that answers
या
your
श्योर
question, Akash. Yeah. All right. And पूरी पावर से बोलना है, तुम्हारे पड़ोसियों तक आवाज जानी चाहिए. I wanna hear this, okay? Like I'll do it
what was
first.
that word what was that word
It's
power
called take charge. We do take
take
charge.
charge take charge
Okay, I'll do it first and see how it is. If you feel it, okay, we have to go level 10. Let's go. Take charge.
take charge
एक ये पंच आपने थोड़ा रोक लिया, थोड़ा पीछे जाओ और फुल
I, I,
एक्सपेंसिव.
I had my bracelet, so I was taking that off.
Okay, do it one more time.
Yeah,
Come on, let's do it.
yeah, let's do it.
Take
Take
charge.
charge.
Yes, let's good.
That was
Thank
good
you.
one. That was
Thank you
good
so
one.
much.
Thank you so much for that, Aman. Viewers, any queries? Yes, take charge, Akash. Glad to get that. Glad to get that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any
Thank you for
further
having me.
queries, viewers?
Yes. Thank you
So
for
that
having
is
me, Preeti, and thank you for the viewers who are watching this right now live, and thank you for whoever will be watching this later. And you're doing some great work, Preeti, and I think for all the moms out there who are watching from my profile, go check her profile out. And if anyone from her profile likes me, come check me out. I'm good. And
And stay tuned for that big launch which Aman is doing on the 20th. I would like to mention follow her stories, follow his Insta handle. You'll get something new to hear.
yeah, all right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Aman.
much.
It was pleasure having you on this show. Deep gratitude for taking out time and sharing such golden nuggets.
Thank
The
you.
silent skills, the quiet skills, the life mastery. मैंने अब तक शायद मुझे भी मिली है.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for joining in, for keeping the conversations alive and exchanging their energy. Thank you so very much. And stay tuned if you have any queries with regards to how you can build your digital entrepreneurship from the comforts of your home. You can drop me a DM and I'll answer your queries. And next Saturday, 7 p.m., we have another very interesting guest who would be there, and you will be blown away just the way you were blown away today evening and the evening on Friday. Still to join, children, God bless each one of you watching. Thank you so very much. Thanks, Aman, once again. Ciao,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.